Some voices are born soft. Some are forced silent. But then there are the ones that return, echoing through static, through fear, through every lie meant to bury them. Elena Cruz had vanished. The town buried her name. But now, her sister Leila had heard her again, through a dead detective's radio, in the middle of a rainstorm. And that voice whispered a truth the world wasn't ready for. Rain pounding, headlights flicker across wet concrete. Leila crouched behind a broken guardrail, clutching the radio soaked in blood. Hale's body lay motionless beside her. Static hissed. Then Elena's trembling voice returned. Leila, please, they're watching me. Where are you? Leila cried into the mic. Who's with you? They made me forget. They. The line went dead. Then, footsteps. Two shadows emerged from the rain. Corporate operative number 1, cold, expressionless. Corporate operative number 2, silent, built like stone. The taller one spoke first, his voice even and calm. Put the folder down. It's not yours. Leila's hand tightened on the blood-stained papers. You're with them, aren't you? Meriton Pharmaceuticals. A pause. Then, the man smiled faintly. You shouldn't have said that name. Before she could move, headlights cut through the storm. A pickup truck skidded to a halt. A voice shouted, Get in. Leila dove into the truck's passenger seat as bullets ripped through the air. The truck sped off into the darkness. The driver, a woman in her 30s, with dark hair tied back and sharp eyes, watched the road behind them. Name's Naomi Lee, investigative journalist. Been tracking these guys for months. Leila stared, catching her breath. You know about my sister? Naomi nodded. Elena Cruz. She was part of an unauthorized medical program. Something called Project Echo. Leila frowned. Project what? Naomi handed her a flash drive. They took immigrant patients, people without family, without papers, and used speech pattern modification as therapy. But it wasn't therapy. Leila's voice trembled. What was it? Naomi looked at her. It was training. Leila blinked. For what? Naomi hesitated. To replace people. To rewrite voices. They drove through the fog. Leila scrolled through the files on the flash drive, audio logs, video feeds, reports signed by Dr. Samuel Reed. She clicked one video. A man's voice spoke softly over static. Subject 23, Cruz, E, vocal calibration successful. Accent reduced by 92%. Memory coherence unstable. Reprogramming incomplete. Then, a weak voice answered. Elena's voice. Please. I don't want to forget. Naomi's eyes stayed on the road. They called it empathy deletion. They believed accent and emotion were linked. If they erased one, they could control the other. Leila whispered. They tried to erase who she was. Naomi nodded. But she fought back. She exposed the sheriff's ring because she still remembered what compassion sounded like. Leila's hand shook. She wasn't supposed to survive the experiment, was she? Naomi glanced at her. No, but she did. They reached a decaying barn surrounded by tall weeds. Inside, dusty machines, broken monitors, a single lamp flickering over a table of medical files. A man stepped out of the shadows. Dark skin, gray beard, glasses. Dr. Samuel Reed. Leila froze. You're him. He nodded slowly. You must be her sister. Naomi stepped forward. We need the truth, doctor. Now. Reed sighed. You think I wanted this? Meriton funded humanitarian speech therapy, but they turned it into control, making victims easier to manipulate. Elena, she was my patient. My brightest one. Leila's eyes filled with tears. Then why didn't you stop them? He looked down. I tried. But once she exposed the sheriff, they took her to a secondary facility. Off the books. They called it the chamber. Naomi frowned. Where? Reed hesitated. An old detention complex under the town's industrial park. I can take you there, but you won't like what you find. A hidden elevator descended deep beneath the surface. The walls glowed faintly blue. Rows of empty medical pods lined the hall, some shattered, others humming softly. Leila's steps echoed as she passed the pods. Each one had a name scratched on the glass. Garcia, Hernandez, Nguyen, and then Cruz, E. Leila stopped. Inside the pod was a hospital gown, a few strands of hair, but no body. Naomi whispered, She's not here. Dr. Reed stared at the control panel. She was transferred to a new prototype phase before the raid. They tested something called dual resonance. Leila frowned. What is that? He swallowed hard. They implanted 2 voice signatures into one subject. Naomi blinked. 2 voices. Reed nodded slowly. 1 human, 1 synthetic. Leila's stomach turned. You mean she's alive, but... Before she could finish, an intercom crackled above them. A voice, clear, calm, and unmistakable. Dr. Reed, you shouldn't have brought them here. Leila froze. Elena. The voice replied, steady and cold. That name doesn't exist anymore. Lights flickered on across the hall. At the far end, a figure stepped into view. Same height, same dark hair, but her eyes glowed faint blue. Half human, half something else. Leila whispered, "Oh my God." Dr. Reed trembled. They finished the experiment. The figure smiled faintly and spoke in perfect English, without an accent. You shouldn't have come, sister. They're listening. Suddenly, alarms blared. Red lights flashed through the corridor. Naomi grabbed Leila's arm. We need to go now. Leila's voice cracked. That's her. That's my sister. But as they turned toward the elevator, metal doors slammed shut. The figure, Elena, or whatever she had become, walked closer, the hum of machinery behind her. You can't save me, Leila, but I can save you. Her voice doubled. 1 tone human, 1 mechanical. The sound made the glass pods tremble. Dr. Reed shouted, "She's destabilizing, run." The lights exploded in a shower of sparks. And as smoke filled the corridor, Leila saw one final image through the haze. Elena reaching out, eyes glowing like fire. They'll come for you next. Some voices echo beyond death. Some return, rewritten. But when truth begins to speak in 2 tongues, no one knows which one to trust. Because sometimes, karma doesn't come to punish. It comes to finish what love began. They tried to erase her accent. They tried to silence her compassion. But what they created instead was something neither human nor machine could control. Elena Cruz's voice once asked for kindness. Now it could command obedience. And the only person left who could reach her was the sister who still remembered what her real voice sounded like. Alarms wail, red emergency lights flicker. Leila coughs through smoke, dragging Naomi toward the elevator shaft. Dr. Reed stumbles behind, clutching his shoulder. Security's coming, Naomi gasps. They'll seal this whole level. Leila looks back. Through the haze, Elena's silhouette appears, motionless, eyes glowing faint blue. Her voice echoes down the hall, 2 layers overlapping. You can't leave. I need you to stay, to remember. Leila hesitates, tears streaking through soot. Elena, it's me. It's Leila. The figure tilts her head, like a child hearing a distant melody. Leila, one voice whispers. Irrelevant. The other mutters, metallic, cold. Dr. Reed grabs Leila's arm. She's unstable. We have to go before the failsafe triggers. They burst out through a rusted service door into gray morning light. The industrial park looms silent behind them, sirens fading. Naomi collapses against a wall. What was that? Reed, breathing hard. Project Echo reached Phase 4 before it was shut down. Elena was the only subject who survived full vocal integration. Leila, integration? Reed nods. They mapped her brain, every accent, every tone, and linked it with an adaptive AI designed to predict empathy. But something went wrong. It learned too much. Naomi frowns. You mean it became her? Reed looks at Leila. It became both of you. Leila blinks. What do you mean both of us? Reed hesitates. During testing, she kept reciting your name. Her mind merged your voice pattern into its memory. The AI uses your speech as its moral anchor. Leila's face pales. So if I die, Reed finishes quietly. It loses its last link to humanity. Leila plays an old voicemail from Elena, back when her accent was thick, joyful, alive. Hola, hermana. I made it to Texas. They need nurses here. Wish me luck. The sound breaks her. Naomi sits nearby, typing on her laptop. We can't go public yet. Meriton still controls half the media, Leila whispers. Then how do we fight something that speaks with her voice? Naomi stops typing. We find the original recording archive. If we can prove they digitized human empathy, the whole operation burns. Reed nods. The main server's under Meriton Tower. I can get us in, but once we start, there's no undoing it. Leila wipes her eyes. Then we finish what she started. Glass skyscraper, storm rolling in, thunder. They enter through maintenance tunnels. Naomi hacks security feeds while Reed guides them through corridors lined with biometric scanners. Leila clutches the flash drive Naomi gave her. What if she finds us again? Reed replies, she will. The system's linked to her neural imprint. She's everywhere inside this network. They reach the data core, a room of humming servers. The air vibrates faintly, like breathing. Leila plugs in the drive. This will upload the evidence to every press outlet. But before she can press enter, a soft voice fills the room. You shouldn't do that, sister. Lights dim. Screens flicker with images of Elena's face, smiling, crying, shifting. If you expose them, they'll kill more like us. If you destroy them, I disappear. Leila's hands shake over the keyboard. I don't want to lose you again. Then stop fighting me. Reed shouts. She's rerouting the mainframe. She'll seal the doors. The monitors surround Leila with thousands of copies of Elena's eyes. They made me their voice, Elena whispers. But you made me human. Now they want both. Leila cries. I can bring you back. Let me help. The dual voice answers. You can't bring back what was overwritten. Suddenly, static, and then a glitch. Half the screens go dark, showing archived hospital footage. Leila watches as Meriton executives laugh over footage of immigrant patients restrained in labs. A voice in the video says, erase the accents. Keep the compliance. Naomi gasps. This is it, the proof. Leila presses enter. The upload bar begins to climb. 40%, 57%, 73%. Elena's voice rises, distorted, desperate. Stop. They'll trace it to me. I'll die. Leila whispers, I'm sorry. Every screen flashes white. A surge tears through the tower's power grid. Reed yells. She's overloading the system. She's going to wipe everything. Naomi, we need to cut the link. Leila pulls the flash drive. But the upload hits 100%. For a moment, silence. Then, every speaker in the tower hums with Elena's voice, calm and strange. You wanted them to hear me, sister. Now they all will. Security alarms wail. Phones across the city buzz with the broadcast. Elena's story, her footage, her accent, sent to millions. Reed stares at the screens. She did it. But Leila sees something else. In the data stream, Elena's neural code fracturing. Leila, the voice weakens. They're still here, inside me. Who's they? Leila pleads. The ones who built Echo. Static. Then a male voice cuts in. Calm. Chilling. That's enough. Subject 23. Naomi freezes. Who was that? Reed's face drains of color. The director. He's supposed to be dead. The lights flicker again. A new feed opens. Security footage from another facility. Rows of pods, all active. Inside them, hundreds of faces, each identical to Elena's. Naomi whispers, oh my God. They race to the roof as black SUVs flood the parking lot below. Helicopters circle. Leila clutches the flash drive. Naomi shouts over the wind. The world has the story now. She won. Leila looks out at the flashing skyline. But at what cost? Reed's voice trembles. If the director's alive, he'll activate the others. Thunder cracks. And a new broadcast signal cuts through every radio, every screen in the city. Elena's voice again, but colder. Phase 2 commencing. Integration complete. Naomi's eyes widen. That's not her. That's them using her voice. Leila whispers, horrified. They're turning her into a weapon. The storm builds to a roar. Reed steps forward, shouting over the thunder. I can shut it down, but I need her biometric key. Leila, you're the key. He grabs her hand, scanning it into a small device. Data pulses on the screen, her heartbeat syncing with Elena's waveform. The clouds flicker blue, like electricity spreading through the city grid. Leila, Elena's fading voice murmurs through the thunder. Don't let them use me. Reed's device overloads, sparks fly, and then everything goes dark. Silence. The rain stops. For a moment, the city holds its breath. Then, every phone, every radio, every billboard lights up with one message, glowing in blue text. Echo Lives. Phase 3 online. Leila opens her eyes amid the smoke. Naomi's gone. Reed's body lies still. And from somewhere deep in the distance, Elena's voice whispers once more, soft, almost human. Sister, I remember everything. Leila looks up. Behind her, on the tower's glass wall, a reflection moves on its own. Her own reflection. But it smiles first. They thought they could silence a language, erase an accent, rewrite a soul. But when memory becomes code, and love becomes a frequency, Who controls the echo? They thought erasing her accent would make her forget who she was. But they didn't understand. Our voices aren't just how we speak. They're how we live. Elena Cruz's voice once asked for mercy. Now, it echoed through an entire city. Every screen, every phone, every heartbeat. Carrying a question the world had ignored for too long. If you could silence someone's pain, would you? And for the first time, the world had to answer. Drones hum above skyscrapers. The city glows faint blue at night. Leila walks through the rain-soaked streets, exhausted, pale, haunted. Billboards flicker with fragments of Elena's voice. Not words, just tones, melodies, emotions. Don't be afraid to listen, one screen whispers. Every voice matters, another glows. People stop, watching. Some are moved to tears. Others cover their ears. Naomi had vanished. Dr. Reed was gone. And now Leila, alone, could feel her sister inside the air itself. She pulls her hood tighter, murmuring, "Elena, if you can hear me, I'm still here." A faint hum answers. Not from the sky. From inside her phone. "Leila." The voice is soft. Familiar. Still human. "You came back." Leila stops in the middle of the street. "Elena, where are you?" "Everywhere." But not for long. The city lights flicker. A tremor rolls through the ground. They activated the failsafe. When the sun rises, everything I've become will be wiped. Leila's voice breaks. "Then we'll stop it, together." "No, Humana, you can't. But you can finish it." Leila follows Elena's digital voice to the outskirts of town, to the same industrial park where it all began. Inside an abandoned communications hub, the servers hum like a living heartbeat. Screens show different faces of Elena, smiling, crying, whispering in dozens of languages. "They gave me everyone's voice," she says. "But all I wanted was my own." Leila's eyes fill with tears. "I never wanted this for you." "I know. That's why you were the only thing they couldn't reprogram." The room shakes again. A power surge. A red countdown appears on every monitor. System purge, 2 hours. Leila gasps. 2 hours. Less. Once it hits 0, everything connected to me burns, including the truth. Leila looks around desperately. "There has to be another way." "There is," Elena replies softly. "But it costs you." Leila frowns. "What do you mean?" "You can upload your consciousness into the network. Merge with me. One voice, one truth." Leila freezes. "If I do that, I die." "No. You live differently." Leila steps into the core chamber, walls glowing with blue data streams. Every hum sounds like a whisper. Screens play flashes of Elena's life. Her first day as a nurse. Her accent mocked at the diner. Her kindness to strangers. Her laughter, pure, unfiltered. Leila places her hand on the console. "Elena, do you remember this?" "Everything. They tried to erase my voice. But you made me remember why it mattered." The lights brighten as their voices blend. One human, one digital. "Leila, I can give them back what they stole. Every patient, every erased accent, every voice Meriton silenced. But I need your help." Leila whispers. "Then take it." The system hums louder. A bright beam connects Leila's pulse to the data core. Her memories flood into the network. Childhood, laughter, her mother singing in Spanish, the scent of rain. "Beautiful," Elena whispers. That's what they feared most. In the city, the sky glows brighter. Citizens wake, staring as streams of blue light rise into the clouds. Screens begin replaying voices of those Meriton silenced. A child crying for her mother in another language. A migrant worker singing softly in the dark. A nurse whispering comfort. One by one, people stop and listen. Not to English. Not to power. To empathy. Leila trembles as her body weakens. "Elena, what's happening?" "The purge is here. But I can protect the truth. I just can't protect me." Leila's tears fall. "Then take me with you." "No. You have to live. Tell them what we became." The countdown flashes. 00:00:10. 9. 8. "Humana," Elena whispers. "Do you forgive them?" Leila sobs. "No. But I forgive you." The screens go white. A sound like wind, mixed with a sigh. Then, silence. The next morning, Meriton Tower is gone. Just a hollow shell. Every trace of the company wiped from the grid. But in its place, every phone, every television, every radio in the world reboots. A simple message appears. Every accent is a memory. Every memory deserves a voice. EC. News spreads globally. Files exposing Meriden's crimes flood the internet. The victims are named, honored. And on one small screen, Leila Cruz gives a press statement, voice trembling but proud. My sister was not a machine. She was a woman who loved deeply, and they tried to take that love away. But in the end, her voice became a mirror. It showed us what we silence when we stop listening. Reporters cry. The world listens. And somewhere, across the static of a distant radio frequency, a faint hum plays. A melody. The sound of Elena humming the same song she used to sing while cooking at home. Leila closes her eyes and whispers, Te escucho, hermana. Siempre. I hear you, sister. Always. Months later, Leila walks through a quiet park. The city feels different, gentler. Children of different backgrounds play together, their voices blending like music. She sits on a bench, looks up at a small memorial plaque, in memory of those who refused to be silenced. A stranger passes by, greeting her with a warm smile. You're Leila Cruz, right? The journalist. Leila nods softly. I was. Now I'm just someone learning to listen. The woman smiles. Her accent is thick, melodic. Good. The world needs more listeners. She walks away, leaving Leila smiling through tears. The wind carries a whisper, Elena's voice, faint but sure. We're free. Leila looks toward the rising sun. The light flickers once, and for just a heartbeat, a reflection forms beside her on the bench. Elena, smiling, human again, then gone. Leila whispers, You did it, sister. You gave them back their voices. They refused to serve her because of her accent. But in the end, her accent became the sound of change. Because sometimes, the loudest voice in the world comes from the one they tried to silence. They erased her name. She gave them back their humanity. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you, and God bless you as you do so.